people are scared that if I marry this person, he's going to die tomorrow, or I'm going to be a widow or widower very soon.
There is something that I'm very, very interested in. I mean, when you were growing up, was there a time that you wanted to deny that this is what is happening in your life, this is what it is, and this is what you have to live with for the rest of your life?
Yes, in a way, because it's very difficult for you to realize that you can't do certain things, and especially as a teenager, you want to actually deny that, because here's the case: all your friends are, out. They can play football and basketball and do all these things and come home and they are okay, and you can't do exactly that. And it's a bit, not a bit, it's extremely annoying. And so there was a point where I tried to more or less deny the fact that I'm sick, although it doesn't help, because I used to, what happened was I started playing basketball, and so I would play basketball, fall sick, play basketball, fall sick. I did this continuously.
You kept playing basketball.
But in the denial of saying that I am not sick, I kept doing it and kept falling sick. And the truth is, I would not advise anyone with sickle cell to do what I did. But the truth is that in a way, it kind of helped me a bit. I think it's the very tough way to do it, but it kind of built me up a bit physically, and I think it helped along that during that time, because of the exertion helping to build up the body. But it's not something I would advise, because it's actually very dangerous and could lead to very serious complications.
Okay. When in your life did you finally say that this is me, this is how I am, this is what is wrong with me, I'm going to live with it and live better, even though this is what is wrong with me?
I think that would probably be maybe in my 20s.
Early 20s?
No, I think late 20s. When I think the truth is that I never really realized how different I was from other people. It took me a while to realize that, for example, as I sit the way I feel, I didn't know that other human beings don't feel that way. I didn't know that people don't feel tired and weak all the time. I didn't know that people can't run and then just a few meters and then feel exhausted as I feel. And so when I began to realize that, these are things that show that we're very different, I had to sit up and realize that there are things I need to do if I need to, maintain a healthy lifestyle. Otherwise, it would mean that I would start deteriorating my health very quickly, because that's the end result of sickle cell. If you're not careful, what happens is that the more crisis you get, the more your organs are damaged, because during a crisis there is far less oxygen transfer to the organs, and so during a crisis, not just the pain, but your organs are actually being damaged. And if you keep on getting crises continuously, then your organs keep getting damaged until they fail at a point. And so I realized that it was time to accept that this is what I am. It means that there are certain things I can do, certain things I cannot do. Certain things I will refuse to do because I just can't do them, and take better care of myself.
There is something that I want to say. Sometimes you need to accept how different you are. You need to embrace it. We keep running from who we are, but the best version that you can be in this world is yourself. First of all, you need to accept that this is how different you are. This is how you are, and learn to live with it. And trust me, when you do that, is the step to a better life. It's a step to a better life, right?
Far better, yeah.
All right, we come to the juicy stuff then. The juicy stuff. How has being a sickle cell patient, how has it affected your relationship with others? Because before you start, I know we have this thing, even me, I would confess, because I didn't know we had sickle cell disease in my family. We didn't even know. So I used to say that if I don't even know my genotype as I sit here, but I used to say that if I'm AS, there's no way I'm going to get married to a guy that is AS, because then I'm putting my future kids into problems that they didn't sign up for. And I think a lot of people out there think the same way. How did it affect your relationship?
Well, of course, there are issues there. Of course, I think for a lot of people who have sickle cell have either gone through, are going through, or unfortunately will go through these issues, because as much as people don't know much about sickle cell, that is the one thing they do know: don't marry someone with sickle cell.
Yes. I know everyone knows that. Like we have no idea we have types, but we know that you should never get married to a sickle cell
and then
patient.
it makes sense a bit difficult for us. That's true. So I mean, we've all had a fair share of it. And actually, I mean, from your perspective, you even talk about not getting married because of your children. I mean, there are people who actually have the perception that they would not get married to a sickle cell person, regardless of what happens with children, but because of the person himself, because they are not sure. For example, when I was in, I remember when I was in SS, I mean, people used to make fun of me that sickle cell people don't live beyond 21 or so.
It's true.
Yeah, so, I mean, which, I mean, is a stigmatization, but it's also based on some element of truth. And so people are scared that if I marry this person, he's going to die tomorrow, or I'm going to be a widow or widower very soon.
I should think, I don't know, but I'm thinking that is that not true with the SS? Because I used to have a mate back in primary. We used to call him Sickle. I mean, which now when I think about it is pure stigmatization, because why would you single someone out and call them a sickler? But we used to call him that. He gets sick all the time. He never grows big. He keeps being stunted. So, and I don't know. I personally don't think he's still alive though.
Well, that's well, of course, SS is normally more severe, but there are people with SS who have lived long lives. I belong to a sickle cell group, an international group called Sickle Cell Warriors, and we have a lot of people who have lived relatively normally till they grow old, and
they are SS patients.
Yes, there are people who have SS, people who have SC.
But the question lies in the fact that are they people from Ghana or Africa?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, there are people from. I think I have to verify, but I think the oldest person with sickle cell, which they celebrated recently, I think last year or so, is a Nigerian woman. Sickle cell is prevalently a Black American thing. Black people of Black descent. Yes, sure. It comes from Africa mainly, and probably spread from here to the Caribbean and other places like that. And so it is basically Africans and Black Americans who have sickle cell. And so, I mean, if there are examples of people who live long, then even within Africa, there are people who have lived long. I mean, I'm almost 40 years old, and I am very strong. So
yes, he is. Yes, okay. Did you ever have a situation where someone left you after finding out you had sickle cell?
I wouldn't say yes. Not after finding out, but I mean after struggling with family and things. So sometimes in relationships, the person themselves might not be against marrying you, or
but family.
Yes, but family might not be in favor of it because of things like that. So yes, I've had
even
that.
though this person that doesn't have any sickle cell.
No. In this case, the person was AS.
And the person wanted to go ahead with it. Or would you advise that? I mean, it's something I'm interested in.
Yes, so the truth is that most people would not advise that at all.
Yeah.
But the counter to it is that there are other options which, I mean, people could take. which are not always ideal, but in situations where people feel that they have to take them, then I mean they could. So for example, I mean the most obvious one, you can adopt children.
Yes.